And a very good morning, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. Mr. Z in the chat. Jock Blue, good morning to you. Anybody else that I missed in there, good morning to you today from Chicago. Apologies for the delay in getting the chat underway. I'm doing laundry this morning. Got some personal business to tend to also. So hope your day. Jinxie, my girl, how are you? Vicky, how you doing, my girl? Vicky. I want to spank you sometimes. Yeah, miss you too. Sunday's gonna be my getaway day. Decided, guys, after this epic journey that began June 9th and over 25 days in the van, it'll be time to start pointing it home. Dory Lynn, sorry, I apologize. Jen, good morning to you, honey. I apologize for the delay. I don't like to do that stuff to fire in a chat and then there's a delay in doing it. I had to go in and do my laundry. I had to buy a laundry card. JK NoCal, how you doing? Don't freak out. He's Marshall's in there doing his laundry too. He may join in a bit. So Johnny Wad, how you doing today? Johnny Wad, Lee Wander. Let's see, Penny Pincher, how have you been running around causing trouble? I love that, Jinx. You shit stirrer, you. But I've not been feeling good. No problem, Allison. I'm surprised I haven't met anybody in Chicago. Sandy Callie, my girl, Sandy Callie. I got to make sure she knows that she's acknowledged here in the chat. Nice to see you, Sandy. And Sandy, you wouldn't believe it. We had a terrific thunderstorm overnight. Totally unpredicted by the Weather Service. I mean, it was a banger, and it stopped raining about 10 minutes ago. About 10 minutes ago it stopped raining, but man, what a light show and thunderstorm last night. It cooled things down. It made it delightful. So Sandy, it all worked out good. Uber Goober, you beauty, how are you today? I miss you and Missy Jenn on the Rancho. Well, I will be putting it in gear on Sunday. I will be starting my journey back to the Rancho. We're expecting hail tomorrow. That's as exciting as it gets here. So good morning, Jay Money. How you doing, babe? RV Radio. Wow, got all the premium big hitters. Skunk Abe, living in a van make you feel sick? No, living in a van has been. I'm hooked for life now. I'm hooked for life. I've saved over almost, I'm going to say almost $4,500 in hotel bills by living in the van. It has been a blessing. Good morning, Oda May. Nice to see you, honey. Nice to see you this morning. That is absolutely the greatest thing about being in the van has been how comfortably I sleep. I slept till 10 o'clock today, guys. I never sleep till 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually up and at 'em about 7 a.m. Hello, Cheryl, but I enjoyed that pitter-patter of rain on the roof, and it was, even now, it's 71 degrees in Chicago. You know, that they had been predicting today it was going to be 115 heat index today, so thank goodness. Glad to see you smiling. Comfy. That's the important thing. Hey, Tammy, people use vans to go all over Australia. I love sleeping in the rain. He's inside doing his starting his laundry. So in about 15 minutes I'll just pop in and throw my stuff in the dryer here and then come back. And we've got Brown Bear Jamboree. Nice to see you, honey. I haven't seen you in a minute. And Jinxie in here. JK, I hope you're doing well today and everything's good in California. So it's going to be kind of nice to put it in gear for the Rancho Sunday. I ain't going to lie, guys. Heading down I-80 the whole darn way. Good morning, JK NoCal. The laundry is being washed. Good afternoon, Kitten Cat, to you. Shower on a daily basis and do the laundry once a week. $5 covers off the laundry. It's a good deal. How is Mr. Tucker doing? I think I saw him. Hey, Richard, how are you? I've missed you. Uber Goober, I've caught some of your replays on the chat streams. Damn, I love how feisty you are. It's that Hungarian in you. I love that. So we've been traveling around. That's cool. Yeah. Hey Harvey, how you doing? Kitten, you better wash that shirt. Yeah, everything's. Dump your Walmart potty bag. I don't use. Nobody really uses Walmart bags on. There's no. Like I told you guys, there's absolutely no reason to use that on the road except in a dire sort of emergency. There's so many places, especially when you do urban camping, that are available, restrooms and things like that. I keep my own little jar here for nighttime things. Tiffy, how you doing? It's going good. Awesome weather here in OC. Okay, low 90s. So I'm looking forward to heading back to the Rancho and then doing a little bit of short-term boondocking down in San Francisco in preparation for the next big swing, which will begin directly after Labor Day. I got to get my tan back. I was going to go to the beach today, but the weather did a total flip. We know you use Walmart bags. That was then. This is now, as somebody says on YouTube, come up to present, kitten cat. Snickerdoodle, how are you doing, honey? You're going to soon to Hell's Canyon in Oregon. So I'm looking forward to that. When I go down there, I'm going to do some boondocking at Point Reyes Station, which I love. The journey down to Point Reyes. It's only about 40 minutes away. And then Tom Finland, you just, I don't know, just unsub and resub. I don't know what to tell you about the notifications. I got work to do on getting the channels realigned for reapplication of monetization, which I will do. I've been no rush to do that. I've appreciated the wonderful support that has come in for me. Yeah, that's fine, Linz. I don't care what somebody does in their own. You know, if they want to do that in their camper van, it's on them. Quinny, how you doing? I'm heading out Sunday morning. I'm heading out Sunday morning for the Rancho, and I should be there hopefully by Wednesday or so. Thursday, go see your friend in this skunk in Point Reyes. That's exactly what I'm going to do down there. And also a little bit of San Francisco. Hello, Eddie. Now my confidence level is all good when it comes to, you know, when you start out urban van dwelling, your confidence level is very low. You don't know what to expect. But now the stealth has been so tremendous on this van. It's been a real blessing. So now I have the feeling if I can get a parking spot that's legal, I'm good to go no matter where it is. That's really important to me. Because in San Francisco, just to park your car for the day is $50 to $75 down there. So, but it is what it is. Hey, my world OKC, how you doing, sweetheart? Nice to see you. So finally, I left the Rancho on June 9th. I spent 5 days on Friday. I guess it was the 14th. I left Vegas. Then the 17th, I left Salt Lake. And we were 18th. I was in Omaha overnight. So after, and then I think the 19th was up in. So it's almost been one full month of van dwelling here. Let's see, what kind of a van is it? I have a 2016 Dodge ProMaster City. It has performed flawlessly besides bending up a wheel in Detroit. The night we were chased around by somebody in Detroit, I hit a curb at a Burger King, and I thought that, you know, the rim could be straightened out, but the tire sustained some damage to it. The tire sustained some damage to it. So yeah, thank you, Bosco. I've really enjoyed this. Van has paid off big time. Here's Marshall this morning. So
and good morning.
Is your laundry in?
Yeah, good morning.
10 more minutes.
Enjoying the double D and an espresso and cream. I offered one to Rosie. She said she refused. She says she doesn't drink iced coffee. So I got 2 of them here. So
special deal today, huh?
2 for $3 from the CVS pharmacy here. It's good stuff. They make one in a Cubano, but Rosie refused.
Well, I'm a hot coffee drinker only. I don't really enjoy cold coffee. Cobra John, how are you doing? How you doing there? So, when I get my hot coffee, it's a large Dunkin' Donuts. And today they had 2 for 1 for the donuts, so I treated myself to a French cruller and an old fashioned, which was great, and 2 for 1 deal, which is excellent. Also, if you sign up for the 7-Eleven card, all coffee's $1 at all times in there, which is a heck of a deal on there, which is a great deal. Boat Dweller, I'm going to show you the gate. Tired of your nonsense, so boom, you're going this morning. Nathan, how are you? I'm determined to have things upbeat on my channel and not deal with nonsense on there. Yeah, I'm just not a cold coffee. I'm not a cold coffee drinker. Nathan, I hope you're doing good. I sure missed the Toronto up there. It was quite an unpredicted storm last night. It came through.
Yeah, we were able to sleep, but I haven't turned my generator on since I've been in Chicago. I've been braving the heat. Some nights has been bad, some nights has been not bad, but I've been able to do it with just a fan. So I give Rosie some credit. But I tell you what, the heat over here is nothing compared to what it is in Florida and stuff, and what I went through in Florida. There's no comparison to the humidity, but it has been tough.
I think it's pretty high. Hey DF, nice to see you. DF, knock in the chat. Yeah, so that storm came out of the blue last night. Now the temperature is going to skyrocket. The humidity is going to go up. Bella Rose, the Queen of Buffalo. How you doing today, Bella Rose?
Good morning, Bella. What I gotta say, Rosie, what I notice about you, when you stay at the hotel in Vegas, you wake up really early. I mean, Rosie can be up literally at 7. She's up, Johnny on the spot, ready to get her Denny's breakfast. But when she's in the van, Rosie gets up at a very leisurely pace. Sometimes she doesn't get up till about 10:30. I've actually woken up earlier than Rosie since we've been urban camping together. She takes her sweet time to get out of this van. There's a lot of times she's not out of this van until 10:30.
Well, one of the reasons is because of the heat. I'm really not able to drift off to sleep till about 3 or 4 a.m. So if you do 10 a.m. or something, 9 a.m., then it's I feel rested enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm on vacation. I got nowhere I gotta be on things. Yeah, the van has been very sweet. I think it's retirement kicking in. Dory Lynn, you take care. Jinx, take care, honey. Thanks for stopping by. I think it's retirement kicking in. Plus tonight, sometimes we were up till 2 a.m. in the morning and stuff. So it's like,
Rosie,
you
I
don't
would
usually go out to eat till like 9 p.m. at night, and then you're done at like 10:30. You're shutting down the place, these restaurants. And you know, by the time you get into bed, you get the bed made up. I got to put my privacy curtain up and get in here. And it's damn hot for the first few hours.
Rosie, what would you say your percentage of viewers that watch you that you know who they are? The percentage.
In what sense of knowing who
I mean,
they
just
are?
knowing that, and since just knowing that.
I think 60%, about 60% of them are here on on a regular basis with me. How about yours?
So you're saying 60% are regulars?
5% of yours? What would you say? Well, they shift names so much because it's a troll chat. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying when I ask the question, knowing them,
Hey,
that means just being familiar that they followed you, that they're a follower. In other words,
yeah, I'd
you
say
60%.
60%.
So
yeah.
40% of the names are unknown, or you have no idea.
They're shifting names and things like that. Let's see. I do pay attention. It's critical to pay attention to side chat. You know, I've been going down streets and side chats told me, hey, turn right there, there's this or that. I love that, man, the interaction of that, but it's just courtesy to me.
So you think there's just the same people changing their names, or is it actually just different people?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, you know. But I do think reading the chat is critical. Even jerking along on that elevated yesterday, that Chicago elevated, which was an epic stream yesterday. It was a tremendous stream. You got to see his vantage point. my vantage point yesterday, and it ended up being, to go from one end of the red line to the other was pretty epic. Yeah, it was a good vid. Thank you,
Did
Nathan.
you notice?
I got a lot of positive feedback on it, and a few tips on that stream that people enjoyed that so much. That was really, really unexpected and very, very nice. But and then anybody that said you wouldn't shoot, anybody said you wouldn't shoot the south side. We were definitely on the south side. I even went and got a hot dogs on the south side too. Oh, nice of you to pick up his cane. Yeah, Cobra John, I'm not going to let a guy go down on that. I don't know what this guy had like the heat. We called it in Baltimore when I was growing up. The guy by the door had some kind of issue. I don't know whether he was losing his balance or what, but he finally went down on the floor. And obviously the guy wasn't going to be able to get off the floor without some help. And it was nothing nice. It was just, I happened to be the closest to the guy, so I just popped out of my seat and gave him a hand up and just made sure he was stabilized. Things got a little rough going down on the south side, I'm not going to lie. As we changed stations, it became a much more I had to keep my eyes about me. There was guys that would just start at one end of the car and just go from car to car, just panhandling the whole way down. Got any change? Got any change?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go through those doors. They're emergency exits. The guys just went right through those. Yesterday, Elvis' stream started with him wanting to connect with viewers. At the end, he said he is not on to make friends, just to make money. Yeah, maybe he had Parkinson's. Yeah, I would help anybody.
So Rosie,
and I saw. Let me just finish with this. I saw that. Then I didn't feel like eating fries. I wanted to really get one hot dog at the new NYFC down there on 47th Street, but evidently I ended up ordering a combo with 2 dogs, and it was National Hot Dog Day yesterday, by the way. And I didn't want my fries, so I gave them to some guy. Looked like he was pretty hungry. Man, he was happy.
He was.
Damn, that fries is even hot. He was so happy to get them, and it put such a smile on my face.
And then Rose is like, "Would you like the fries?" And he's like, "Hell yeah,
hell yeah, give me them fries." It was pretty cool, He was a nice guy. So, and the thing I try to impress Marshall is when you walk down those streets like 47th Street. This is something he never does. And I'm not making a judgment because his, safety's paramount for him, and that's cool. He likes to be in the Morton Groves, the very nice, they're the good areas to be in. But the thing I hope was impressed on him is how nice the people, even on the streets or everything. If you said hi to somebody, they said hi back to you, and I really thought I was. It gets a little dicey there, but it was very nice, yes. And I can always say that I choosed on the south side of Chicago.
I got a couple things I want to point out. First of all, I want to ask you, did you notice when we were on the train, and when we got to a certain point when we were heading south, at that point the train was getting real jerky? Did you notice that it was better on the north side?
Yeah.
As opposed to getting to a certain area?
Sometimes I thought we were going to come off the rails of that thing. That thing was, I thought I was going to get a traumatic brain injury from hitting my head against a window on some of those turns.
The other thing I wanted to point out to you is, and I've talked about this before, when I was in New York and I took the train from Queens, the M train.
Thank you, Miss Coelho. Hi, Joan Ann.
Yeah, when I took the M train from Queens to Times Square, it doesn't run 24 hours to come back, and you got to take multiple trains to get back. But the reason I'm bringing this up is I saw 3 guys. There were 3 young African-American guys in New York, and they were hopping from train to train. Now, I was told, and I just want to clarify this, that they're allowed to do that. You're saying that they're not allowed to do that? That those are emergency
Well, when
exits?
you say, when there's a sign on the door that says emergency exit only, and you're just casually popping that door and going from train to train and moving through there, it's against the rules of the Chicago Transit Authority to do that. But then again, who's watching? You can hear the woman yelling up front, stand clear of the doors, and other trains coming right. She can't watch everything on there. But I think in New York, they may not have signs between cars. Hey, Carol, nice to see you.
Probably they don't, okay. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is I say that. So when we got to the
Tom,
south,
Tom Finland, let's keep it positive, please. Okay, you're a
So-
moderator here, please. I do like us to keep things upbeat on.
so what I wanted to point out, Rosie,
Hey, Karina. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to point out is when that one guy was jumping from train car to train car. Well, there was not.
Morning, babbling.
Did you notice that? Well, just let me ask you this though, from your street smarts, because Rosie supposedly is street smart. She grew up in the
No,
streets
not
of Baltimore.
supposedly. I am.
She is.
I
Okay.
hit the streets fearlessly.
Okay,
Yes,
so let me ask you this question. From a street smarts person that grew up in Baltimore. I grew up in Benton,
Simon.
Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a rural area, so I didn't grow up like how you grew up in Baltimore. Let's face it. What was that person? What was their intention from going from train car to train car? The young black guy that was going, not the one that was asking for money, the thuggish looking one that was going from train car to train car. What was
Two possibilities. Number one, he's looking for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Or number two, he's looking to maybe take advantage of somebody on the train looking around.
What do you mean when you say looking
now,
for somebody?
because when we got on at the red line at Howard Station, you asked the attendant at the station platform,
Right.
what's it going to be like down on the south side? You know, what's it going to be like on the trains? And she's
And you
like,
remember what she
"Ooh,"
answered?
Yeah, she said, "Ooh, it gets a little, you know, there's some gangs that'll
Incidents.
roam these trains."
Right.
And you said, "Do they have canines at night?" She said, "No." You said, "Do they have canines and cops during the day?" She's like, "No, that's nighttime. Plus, they don't do anything anyways for show, not go." She was
Right.
like laughing about that. So basically, what she was saying, when you go down to the south side, it's a yo-yo. You're on your own. That's it. So there'll be nobody there to come and there's no cord to pull. There's nothing. You're at the mercy. It's like you're too young you weren't even born when the movie Taking Pelham 1, 2, 3 came
Right.
out, which is a classic subway movie in New York of a whole car being held captive, a subway car and stuff rolling around the subway system.
So now that you brought this up, as far as the K9 units, they're the ones that I talked about mentioned. They're not Chicago police. They're Securitas.
CTA police.
No, actually, they're a contract
they're a
company.
private contract
They're a
company.
private contract company called Securitas. I used to work for them, and they have a K9 unit, and I've seen them on the north side with their K9 units by the
I
train.
know more than you do, Gay Frog, so that puts me light years ahead.
By
of you.
Belmont and Boys Town. But my question is this, though. Now, do you think those K9 units are patrolling that red line down in the bad areas? Do you think that they're there in the nighttime, or is it just? I mean, in
I
other
think
words,
it's below Jackson, the transfer point from the red line to the blue line. You walk through a tunnel, and it becomes a totally different environment on the red line. South.
it's a
of-
completely
south.
different.
It's a
Once you
completely
leave
different world.
downtown and stuff, it's completely
That's
different.
not the real Joe King. It's a completely
Oh.
different world down there.
So, do you think they
Joe
have?
King doesn't come here, which makes me extremely happy.
That's a
I
troll,
don't care
Joe
about
King. then.
Joe King's on no higher plane than anybody else with his threats of violence.
Do you think?
So-
Okay, you don't know because you're not. I don't take the train a lot in Chicago. Do you think? Let me ask you just a simple question. Do you think that the CTA needs to hire security or police officers on
Hey,
the train?
Green Bay.
Do you
No,
think they
I
don't?
don't think so for daytime. No.
What about for nighttime?
You want to see a rugged line? Go to the BART in San Francisco, the Bay Area Rapid Transportation. Now, somebody did get shot at the Chinatown station yesterday. Someone was shot and killed at the Chinatown
Right.
station, which we were
Stabbed.
going to get off on. Stabbed on that line. So, but over in the Oakland side of the Bay Area Rapid Transportation, there's always shit going down at Fruitvale Station and all the places that I chooch around.
Is there
They
security
do
or
have
police, sir?
a very high security presence on them. I didn't see that.
Oh.
I don't know what goes on at nighttime. I got no idea
Right.
what goes on at nighttime. So.
Would you recommend somebody taking the Chicago CTA towards the south side at nighttime? Yes or no?
No.
Would you recommend somebody chooching on the south side at nighttime?
No. It's strictly a daytime thing. So, anyway, change the subject here. That was the CTA. That was an epic stream.
Right.
4 hours yesterday. A lot of people were on the stream. A lot of people enjoyed that. There'll be
Right.
more content coming up. The skies are getting blue here So what I'm going to do now is take 5 minutes. I'm going to transfer my laundry to the dryer, so I will be right back. Okay?
Okay.
Behave yourself.
All right, I will. I'm gonna
Okay.
wait for her. I'll probably do mine in a little bit too. So yeah, it was an epic chooch, guys. What we did yesterday. Um, it was pretty epic. I've taken the train into Chicago, into downtown. I've taken it one time going to Midway Airport. I had to take the red line and then transfer to the orange line off of Roosevelt. Um, but I've never been south of Roosevelt. And Chinatown is where it starts to get bad. And once you go over to 47th Street, it gets bad. And Garfield, I know Garfield is bad. And then 79th Street is bad. And then 95th Street, I think, is probably even worse than 79th Street. There are some places in Chicago where you can chooch on the south side, and there are some places where you just can't. I think 47th Street was kind of a lightly transitioning area. I don't think it was that bad, but at the same time, it can be bad depending on the block or neighborhood that you're in. I think for you guys to get a glimpse of the south side of Chicago, there's a lot of decent, good people that live in these hoods and ghettos. That are just people that are living there. But then there's a lot of the bad guys. I think that Michigan, Detroit, and seeing all the houses that were boarded up there and the people hanging out at these boarded up houses, that was much worse than what we have in Chicago. There's no comparison. That was probably the worst ghetto hood I've ever seen in my life. I think there are parts of Chicago that are dangerous, but the danger here in Chicago is slightly different than in Michigan. In Detroit, you have a lot of poverty-stricken areas that are not necessarily, that the people there are not necessarily bad. It's good and bad mixed together. In Chicago, you'll have areas where they're decent-looking areas, but you'll have the gang presence in Chicago is much, much more pronounced than the Motor City. That's just my opinion. Now, there's different kinds of gangs in Chicago. I guess some of them are just interested in doing their drug dealings. And then when you see people on the street, you can't really, I don't know if those people are really in gangs, because I don't think gangs are really interested in robbing people. They are interested in doing their activities as far as selling the drugs. I think the people that are out on the street, I don't think that they're gang members. I think they're just people that are looking for an opportunity. Whatever that opportunity might be. And I think that they're out on the street, and it just, to me, what's been going on in Chicago, and what I've noticed even in Boys Town and Wrigleyville, you'll see a lot of people that are of African American descent that don't live in that neighborhood because it's predominantly white, and they come from the south and west side and congregate there for whatever purpose. I don't know. They'll be on the streets just hanging out. They won't able to go in the clubs and patronize. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in and pop mine in the dryer too.
Okay.
But I was just telling them, Rosie, about the Boys Town, Lakeview. There's a lot of people, and like we used to talk about opportunity, there's a lot of people that are primarily African American that come to Boys Town regularly, or Boys Town in particular. Some of them are transgender, some of them are just regular guys, some of them are cross-dressers. But they'll be walking around Boys Town, just hanging out on the street, and from a street's smart person, what's the purpose of them doing that? If they're not going into the patronizing the businesses, why are they out on the streets?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Your street smarts can't tell you.
No, I can't tell what goes through people's head. But I do want to talk about some of the differences between Detroit and Chicago because they are remarkable. I like the suburbs of Detroit, Sterling Heights. Some of the other areas there are absolutely top-notch. But in the city itself, it's kind of a weird vibe. In Chicago, it's a very economically booming kind of city, and the people are very, you can tell that they're very upbeat. They have a go, go, go attitude here. And honestly, in the middle of Detroit and around a lot of the Detroit area, I sensed a lot of defeat. I sensed defeat on the part of the police. I sensed defeat on the part of the residents. I sensed defeat on the part of the infrastructure there. I never saw a city with such terrible infrastructure on there. No, Nicole, he's not coming to California with me. Hello, Beryl, how are you? Let's see. Good morning, Jeffrey. How are you today? I don't perceive he's rude to me. I'm a city person. I'm not a sensitive person when it comes to people talking over me or people questioning. That's just the way I am. So I don't know what he's doing. He might be going on the Flagstaff or something like that. So I may catch up with him again in October or something like that. So no, he's not going to the. There's no relief for him at the Rancho. For his teeth problems need to be solved south of the border, not if you come to Santa Rosa or Northern California, you're talking about some of the most expensive dentistry in the nation. So I don't find it rude. A lot of people are very hey, Lady Nighthawk. I'm not sensitive to that kind of stuff. It's the way I grew up with a large group of people, and it's just, I don't know. It's just surrounded by tons of people all the time. It's like an East Coast thing, just to be talking all over top of each other. And, did he leave the fucking door open? Yep. Good to see you, Jeffrey Perez. I hope you're doing good down there. So, yeah, there's nothing immediately for him at the Rancho. The stronger possibility is D will be coming through for the it's an Irish thing. D will be coming through for the he wanted to do the Pacific Coast Highway tour, so we'll see how that works out. In Australia, he would get a punch to the face. I don't know, Mel. It seems a little over the top to me to hit somebody for their for perceived rudeness or something like that. Please make me mods. They will stop. No, I don't. Mods are few and far between on this channel. The way he talks to people, he would get in. I don't know. I don't think the last 2 weeks he's done anything that I've been with him that would warrant anybody hitting somebody in the face. So he should get his teeth fixed at a dental school. Looking into dental schools here, they're a lot more downscaled now for the dental school. It's not my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's his deal to make that happen on his teeth. I'm not getting involved in that crap. I spent $4,000 last summer on 2 root canals in 1 week and 2 crowns and a filling, and I'm not going to worry. I take care of my own stuff. So he is he's the one that's responsible for taking care of his own teeth. Let's see. It's just different what people would have. Yeah, it's just different what people would put up with. Also, people are more inclined, because it's him, to to have a lower trigger point, whereas for me, my trigger point is the same across the board. It doesn't matter whether you're Elvis or anybody else. I'm an easygoing person. It takes a lot to move me off my dime. Yeah, so his teeth are his own situation. Will D get 2 new teeth in the front? I have no idea. I have no idea whether he's going to. I have no idea what he's going to do. He never talked. I don't talk about people's teeth and things and people's physical aspects. And it's not my thing to do that. I don't. I feel like it's private and it's not my concern. With all respect, he attacked me and my family and continued to until recently. Well, I've brought it up to the present time. It's on him, Nicole. I don't take responsibility for other people's things anymore. It's on them. I never examined his teeth, kitten cat. That's not true. Let's see. Harvey says if Marshall spoke to people like that in the UK, would not have teeth to worry. I doubt that, Harvey, in the UK. London has some of the nicest people in there. Let's see. Everyone just come in, please. Show some love. Yeah. And then the Burger King. Off to Burger King. I think people have a lot more forbearance in life. You haven't been to the UK lately, have you? Well, from what I hear, it's been taken over by Muslims and things, so they got to worry more about having acid thrown in his face. You should examine his teeth with a hot electric. I'm not a dentist, kitten cat.
Somebody was saying, Rosie, that you should build me some wooden teeth.
Like George Washington, huh?
Is that what he had, Rosie?
Yeah, wooden teeth. They're on display somewhere. So
Rosie is such a American history buff.
Yeah, because I'm a street person. I'm not born to the purple. I don't have a great set of manners myself in life. So
Rosie, you weren't
when
born
people
with...
overtalk like Marshall does to me, he can't wait till a sentence is finished. It's across the board to everybody. It's the way he was raised with that. So it doesn't really conflict with me. Now, somebody who's a little more high fashion, it would bother them a lot, which it does. That's why people were.
You know what? You know what the difference between me and Rosie is, guys? I'm gonna quote one of Ric Flair's sayings. I was born with a golden spoon in my mouth.
Yeah, I guess you were.
The king got what he wanted. When he was a kid, I was...
Joan Ann says, I have so much money in my mouth, I could buy a new car. Yeah, I've invested. I have all my teeth except for 2 wisdom teeth that were pulled on the side to keep my teeth from crowding together. Even then, I got a hillbilly tooth. How you doing, Troy, the Godfather in the chat?
Hey, the Godfather. Good morning from Clearwater. How you doing over there,
Florida.
Godfather? The original article. The Godfather, the Wimble family. How you doing there?
So I was talking about your teeth. He'll have to solve his own problem on that and do his own thing. It's not his teeth are his own responsibility. He would not cut over where I'm from, or he would be missing a few more teeth. I have a hard time believing somebody would knock somebody's teeth out for talking over top of them. Hey, Monique, how you doing, Monique?
Rosie.
Well, Sunday I will be on the road, honey, heading back to the Rancho, putting in gear 1,868 miles on the road. And you guys are going to be along.
How come your fans are not asking about D-Dubs?
I don't know, because they don't know what his agenda is, I guess. I'm not even clear what his
even Rosie doesn't even know what his agenda is.
Yeah, last I heard he was going to work to make some money in Michigan and hopefully get a van and then come to the Rancho. So we'll see what happens for the Southern California. Last on the road. So beginning Sunday will be road videos, so we'll see what the heck happens on the road there. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the road. But next time I come to Chicago, I will boondock for a month or so, and really get down to the second layer of the city. I was talking about the difference between Detroit people and Chicago people, and Marshall was there. He always asked me, what's the difference between the people in this city and that city, and what do you think Toronto and Detroit? I thought Detroit proper, the city itself, the it kind of had a defeated feeling to it. Like the cops were defeated, the infrastructure was defeated. People drove and moved around the city with little regard to what the rules of the road were and stuff like that. They were, in other words, if you were in the fast lane and your exit was coming up, and I don't even care if it was a couple hundred feet, they would just dart right across 3-4 lanes of traffic to go to the exit. Very disconcerting stuff. They'll do 95 miles an hour daytime on the I-94 and the 696 and all these roads. Very disconcerting to me to see they don't stop for stop signs. You know, you got to really be very, very careful.
I got to say that with Detroit, I think the people in the, where were we at? Was that
Yeah, houses are free.
What was that nightlife area we're in over there? It was Ferndale,
just above Royal Oak.
I thought the people in Ferndale were much more
Chicago in it.
No, I think they were much more friendly than Chicago. They
hey Terry,
seem to be having a good time. I like the nightlife in Ferndale. The people there seem really nice. I love my Middle Eastern community there. Besides the erratic drivers and the bad roads, I actually like. I think the people of Detroit are more friendly. I think the food scene is better than Chicago as far as Middle Eastern food. Chicago people can be kind of snobby and stuff. You know,
I don't know if it's snobby. They put off an aura or a feeling about them that things are good in this city, you know, and they like the direction of the city. I was saying before, the cops are really, I don't want to say overbearing, but the police presence in Chicago is a lot, you know, compared to Detroit. I saw 4 police cars in Detroit. I see 4 police cars here on driving to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning and get coffee.
I think Rosie needs to experience the south side of Chicago, which is more blue collar, more down to earth. The north side is more snobbyish, yuppie, fusion, millennial style. But there's a lot of different things you know, there's a lot of different things about Chicago.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Okay, so.
But I don't think Rosie's experienced the blue collar side of Chicago.
Yeah.
But
nor do I feel inclined to want to see that. I've seen enough on the south side. Pappy. Yeah, I don't know anything about these. He drinks a lot when I'm with him, but that's on him. I don't drink at all. I'm not sure where's Elvis going to Mexico. Probably Algodondes is the big.
Yeah, Rosie was talking about Italian food, but I wanted her to realize that the south side of Chicago has a huge Italian and Irish population, and they have some top-notch Italian restaurants and pizzas down there. Top-notch food.
Hey, Carlos.
Down on the south side of Chicago, so, and it's cheaper than the north side too.
That pizza at Burt's was one of the greatest I've ever had in my life. When they had the guts to push that pizza to the limit in the oven and really make sure that had some char on the cheese and the pepperonis and that smoky flavor. It was just all there, man. The sauce was on. David Guns nailed the winner with that one. Yeah, I gave him a lot of credit in the video. Guns, David Guns. I gave him a lot of credit. That pizza was unbelievable. Hey, weather guy. Yeah, I am pretty sure.
I gotta say too, that was unique with the robust sauce and the caramelization of the cheese and the mushrooms and pepperoni. It kind of almost tasted like a barbecue pizza. And the crust was nice and crunchy in that, you know, that steel type of pan, and it was really pretty cool. Yeah, Guns hit the nail on the head on that.
Green Bay says I always make sure I get a full tank of gas before I head to Chicago. Well, I don't know if you've been to Detroit, Green Bay, Wacky. It's a lot more intense in Detroit, the atmosphere. But the pizza was absolutely tremendous. My fear factor was much higher in Detroit than it was it was on a par with Baltimore, Detroit.
Rosie, what do you about the gas prices? Have you noticed the prices are higher?
California prices, $4.03 a gallon. Blue state syndrome. You know, you keep voting up those, you keep putting those taxes up. South side is still controlled by the mob. There you go, Cobra John. Love to you, Simon. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Patsy Klein. Gas prices are terrible. Gas prices are terrible in here. But Mr. X says they just put in another 18 cents a gallon. We are now on a par with California gas prices. Hence, we drive this van around, which gets 30 miles a gallon, as opposed to the Lisa Marie rolling around. Yeah, the UK is tough there too, 249. But you go down to Omaha and places like that, fill up in Wisconsin or Indiana when they can.
I would definitely try to fill up in Joliet. Or a little bit outside of Chicago, the prices go down.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter, that's the way I like it, with a little bit of char on it. That was so delicious that by far, and I've had Marie's here, which is a local one, but that so far surpassed Marie's in taste and value of the Italian sauces. The fact it wasn't a deep dish, but it was a pan pizza, so that means it's not like a loaf of bread with some topping stuck on it. I don't want to eat a pizza that's a lot of bread. Okay, that's one reason I steer clear of that. Can I drive by the Obamas? Where were they? Hyde Park over here?
Hyde Park, somewhere in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
But one thing, Rosie, I didn't realize that Rosie, I mean, I knew that she liked Chinese food, but I didn't realize she was so much into pizza. I think she needs to spend a month here and try out all the pizza and figure out which one she likes the best. The different kind of pizzas here.
There you go.
Napoleon style,
Thank
like
you,
she
sweet.
likes. Or thick
Well,
crust.
look, people tell you Chicago's about the pizza, so what are you going to predominantly veer towards? California has one style of pizza, okay, the California brick oven
Which is
style.
Napoleon style, that's
Yeah,
it.
and then there's some Italian places. Salvador's in Sebastopol is still the best pizza I ever had out in Cotati, California. Still the best pizza I ever had in my life down there. But if I'm coming to Chicago and people tell you pizza, or ribs, I'm sorry, I'm going to drill down on that stuff while I'm here, and I'm going to see what a really classic, great Chicago pizza is. As far as Chinese stuff, to my knowledge, Chicago's not renowned for Chinese food, not like
Chinese.
San Francisco or New York.
Well,
But I'm sure there's some place there that is outstanding in every aspect of it. It's also, I don't favor Greek food. I don't really care about Greek food. I can get Greek food at a lot of gyros, at a lot of places. You had a nasty meal at the Greek place.
that was pretty terrible, yeah. I think that Rosie
The
is...
Polish dog in the South Sides was delicious. I'm
Oh.
sorry he didn't eat one of the two, because that was a delicious dog. So, what were you going to say?
No, well, like you say, Chicago's known for its pizza, but also we created the Italian beef sandwich, and I'm more into Italian beef than pizza, because a lot of times you can't get by the slice, you have to get the whole pie. So for me, it's just more convenient to stick with. It's cheaper to stick with Italian beef.
Yeah. Now, when I went to Baltimore, of course, it's all about the seafood. So I went to Lexington Market, the oldest indoor market in the United States. I went to Fadley Seafood. I had the soft crab sandwich, not the soft crab. I had the crab cake. Then I went to Ocean Pride. I had the soft crab sandwich, and I had the hard crabs. In other words, I'm there. That's what it's known for. So I'm not going to deviate off into a lot of other different foods. There's
Right.
something I can't get on the West Coast. They don't steam crabs on the West Coast. They boil them. Which to a Baltimore person is a cardinal sin of preparing a crab. But they use lots of Old Bay and cracked black pepper and salt, and it's a delicious experience.
Then I
Yeah, it's Green Bay Wacky. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Coney dog was covered in Detroit. Yeah, I got the Coney dog, but we kept asking people, what's the signature food of Detroit? Besides the Coney, there was nothing that anybody could really point to and say.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a chance to get into the Middle Eastern food, which did not disappoint in the least, which the quality of that was off the hook. Like I say, to go into Ishtar and see Marshall at the Ishtar amongst his people just brought a whole new dimension to him. And I enjoyed seeing his pride sitting with these people and pointing things out. Rosie, this is what this is, or this is how they do the tea, or look over there or see what they're eating. And they brought that big puffy bread out. Man, that was good.
But Rosie, I just got to say, now I
I'm
agree
not
with you.
trying to have a good time. I am having a good time, Amy. I've not had a bad time one day
As
on this trip.
with Rosie, with you, I agree with your opinion on trying to get things in Chicago that you can't get in California. You can't get a good Italian beef sandwich in California, so that's something that you have to try. You probably can get a good Italian ice in California. I would think you could, but there's also Italian ice here, and then the pizza. Yeah, so I would take advantage of that while you're here to try out some Italian ice because that's Chicago. To try out some Italian beef and then some pizza,
Yeah.
because Chinese you can get that at a lot of other places and stuff.
Yeah,
and
and
it's
I
not
can
a big
get
deal.
good, better Chinese on the coastal
Right.
areas. So,
So-
definitely. So I've enjoyed, and like I say, the fact I don't have to pay a hotel bill every night, the taxes on a hotel bill, and be stuck in a place where noisy neighbors are above, or TV's blaring and all that crap all night. I get the privacy of the van. I can eat some of these food experiences with still being well within my budget for the day. California has a threat of California is a very dangerous place geologically to live, okay, because of fires and all that. I do like the beef. I want to do I'm probably going to do an Italian beef when I'm done my laundry today. It's really too late to go to I was going to do a beach day today, but I'm going to save my beaching for another day. So,
Rosie, have you calculated how much you saved
about $4,200
while
so far.
sleeping in
Yeah.
the van? $4,200 in
Yeah.
hotels, and that would be the average price of a hotel would be in how much
I figure $100 a night for a hotel.
for an average decent
Yeah.
hotel? So
Yeah.
that's pretty
The
amazing.
place
for,
I would want to be, because I don't want to go 18 miles outside of the city,
Outside
and
of
then
the
come
city.
into the city and then go
Right.
back. Then I'm losing for a cheap motel. How much of that 4,100? Nothing, kitten cat. Why would you think I'm giving Marshall money? I'm not giving him any money. It's enough to buy a camper. It is. So I'm very happy. Very happy. Have a good day, Diamond Stripes. Go peddle your nonsense elsewhere. Yeah, 100 a night is cheap in Chicago.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it takes a while to
To regather.
regather. Yeah.
Anyway, I keep things on a positive plane now, and that's my right. I don't choose to have this a place, a battleground of drama and all that kind of crap. If I'm here now, I'm enjoying. I'm making the most of the experience. Andrea W.
Hey, Andrea,
oh, there
how
we
you
go,
doing?
Andrea,
You watched
Nice
the train
to see
video
you.
on TV this morning, Rosie. Family
the
affair.
Queen of Detroit.
Hey, cool,
hot,
Andrea.
the
Glad you enjoyed it.
hot mama of Detroit, right there. Glad you enjoyed that. Boy, times we really jerked down that train, man. That thing was rough on the tracks and loud. The train ride was epic. It's something I'll always remember, that it was quintessential Chicago. Anytime I think about the Red Line, I'll think about my trip down.
He's asking how much the train was. You wanna
$3.
tell me? $3 if you don't get off the train.
Yeah, you can transfer. You can stay down there all day long, riding all the lines you want to ride for $3. It is a great value. Hey, Katie, how you doing, sweetie? Oh, you meet in Vegas Vixen for dinner. That's awesome. Okay, that's really great. I'm so glad that people are meeting up with people on
Who's
YouTube.
Katie? Is she in
She's a wonderful supporter of mine down in Mississippi. Down there.
Mississippi?
She's,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a great gal. She really enjoys the chooches.
Oh, okay.
So I might get an Italian beef after this today to give that a whirl. Get some gasoline here. Try to find some deeper gas. Montgomery County. That would be good. Anything ending with the letter T. Anything ending with the letter D for food.
I know where Rosie can get gas for $2.99 a gallon, but she would have to probably go about maybe 15 miles from
Yeah, I'm
there,
not
about.
willing to do that.
She's not willing. I think you gotta.
Yeah, it's not
There you go.
scrolling now. Hey, Cornholio, how are you? Yeah, he sacrificed. Yesterday was a big day. Man, that heat was tremendous on 47th Street, wasn't it?
It's starting to build up now. Here, the heat's gonna start to build
Well,
up.
the breeze is still blowing. That's the saving
Yeah.
grace. Gas costs what it costs in your area. Well, there's some variance here. I've seen $3.49 a gallon. I've seen $4.03 a gallon. No, I don't plan on doing a van build on my van. I feel like adding a fan or something like that, but I'm not going to do much more on the van. I missed you. One day, was it? Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it was fun being with you. One day was not enough. And yeah, so that's cool. It was awesome to meet you. So I like it when people meet other people on YouTube. Then they have a bond that transcends the daily toing and froing of YouTube.
Sometimes a bond is created.
Cassidy Hampton, how are you, honey? How are you doing, honey? Nice to see you. Tasha, what's going on? Get some more hot dogs. I'm going to try to.
I've got to say one thing.
I got to get some Polish dogs, man. I got to get it while I can, Tasha.
I want to say one thing.
Say hi to
here.
Sammy Jacks.
Yeah, I want to. Hey, say hi to Sammy. Hey, I want to say one thing here. There's a lot of trolls talk about this. 7K, Cassidy Hampton.
I love Cassidy. She's a doll. She's also
anyways.
very smart. She doesn't believe everything she's fed in other chats that people tell her. So how it goes? Yeah, what's the battle? Yeah, how's the band? How's the conversion band build out going, Tasha? So,
Hey, I want to ask your fans a question. If you guys want to see Rosie do a van build and Little Rascal, press 69. I'll press 7K because you love
well,
saying
it ain't
7K.
gonna happen. So I'm not. People
I
are
don't
just
think she's
wasting
gonna
their
do it.
time. Okay. I'm not going to do it. I want to keep things simple here. This is a transitional vehicle back to a Class B. But that's why I observed Marshall with his Class B to see his levels of paranoia, of where he parks, his concerns about the cops. How do you know where you can park for the night? Andrea, I could park in front of the mayor's home here without any problem with this van. People look at it from the outside, it looks like a work van. You know, I have a clipboard sitting up front. It looks like I'm on assignment from California, just working here in Chicago. So, how much was gas in Detroit? Wasn't that $2.49?
Actually, before we left Sterling Heights, I got it for $2.59.
$2.59.
It was ranging anywhere between $2.60 to $3 a gallon.
$2.89, she said now. So this is $1 more a gallon. This is horrendous here in Chicago, but food is cheap. I look at menus and I think it's on sale. Like that pizza that they threw down at Bert's last night would have been easily a $35 demand.
In California?
People would have paid. They would have lined up in California for that pizza. For that pizza, for that quality, for that experience. Hot dogs are cheap. Yeah, I don't know if he's paranoid or just he's very, in my opinion, he's way overly cautious with the van and where he parks. I think he's got a distorted idea of most people look like thugs that are on the street. Most people are going to be unconcerned about a camper van.
I wanted to mention something to Rosie. I know she keeps on bringing up hot dogs, and in Chicago we've got two kind of hot dogs. We've got the Vienna beef and the Red Hots, and they're okay, but they're not that good. I think what she needs to concentrate on if she wants to eat that kind of food, she needs to try the authentic Polish sausages that we have in Chicago
I
that
had
are
a
made,
bite of yours
and
at
also
Jim's.
not only that, but the Italian sausages that are made in Chicago.
I don't find a lot of variance in Italian sausage because if it's oregano, basil, it's really hard to get a flavor difference. But the hot dogs are I got to concentrate on. I need to get a Polish hot dog today. Is what I do. Today I might make it just a foodie day. I don't know. So go around and.
But also another Chicago food that I was trying to tell Rosie about is turkey tips and rib tips that are smoked in aquarium style smokers on the south side. That's a Chicago
Yeah, I'm not going down to the south side again now. So it's too long a haul to get down there. So and I just at the margin it's not worth it for the food experience for me to do that. I figure he hasn't been down there all these years living in Chicago, so I'm not going to hustle.
Well, I've been down there. I've been down there.
I don't think so, Marshall. I think that was your first trip to the south side, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I've been down there. I've been down there many times before, but I never talk about it on here.
I like the Polish sausage. It's delicious. I like all that those things. So I think when my laundry's done, I'm going to get a Polish today. So
I think you need to get an Italian
Somebody said,
beef.
"How's your mom doing?" He's been in and out of the visitation and over there. How's she doing now?
Well, she's doing better now. They
Good.
have her in a nursing home, and she's doing better. So
Yeah, that's it, Terry. Then keep your can simple so you can park it where you're. Parking is, if you're an urban van dwelling explorer, which I am, you need to be center city to be where all the attractions are. Like I said, I think he's kind of the same way too. He's not a BLM land camping person that enjoys being out in the countryside. And for me, it's all being in the center of the city where all the experiences are, where all the people are. All the attractions and stuff like that. I love that you can chooch the streets. And if I chooch in the woods, what's the experience going to be? I don't know one tree from another tree. I only know what a tree looks like. I don't know, this kind of tree. I don't know what I would talk to.
Rosie, I've got to
welcome aboard. Somebody new to the channel. Thank you, Shayna Irish.
I've got to ask
Welcome
you.
aboard.
I've got to ask you some quick question.
Poison ivy. I don't know. It scares me to be out in the countryside. To be honest with you, I feel more safe in the city. Even when we hear shots being discharged in the night, as long as you stay low in your van, you should be okay. So,
Quick question for you, Rosie. Who knows the city of Chicago better, Elvis Travels or Mr. X?
well, I think Mr. X knew better in his younger days, but things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
And he went and he had a career. And now he's gone back out with me. As you say, Mr. X never went anywhere till I came to town, and now he's going everywhere with us. So you're more up to date on knowledge about the roads and the systems about that. Tasha says, I'm not going to worry about stealth. I'll park where I want. Well, wait till you get towed, honey. Then you'll have a different experience when they put the Chicago boot on you.
The only thing that she has to worry about is just simply permanent parking. There's a lot of these streets where they have...
Nah, man. She's talking about being a rebel. She's talking about being a rebel.
Well, when she talks, I don't know if she's talking about Chicago parking, but... you can park anywhere in the city, but if there's a permit parking, you have to abide by those rules because you can get...
Yeah, wait till a cop knocks on your thing. Mr. X is more experienced in old school Chicago, but his world was rather... I mean, he went all over the city, but he's been retired, and he's still kind of working a bit here and there, so... yeah, this is nice later in the day. All right, guys. Well, anyway, I'm going to close it down. It's been an hour. I feel like I need to get something to eat this morning. I want to pull the laundry out. Hey, big man. So thank you for being on the channel. I guess I should call it the afternoon shoots, as Marshall says. I'm on a more leisurely wake-up schedule now when I'm in the van.
Yeah, when Rosie's in Vegas, she's Johnny on the spot about 7 in the morning. She wants to be at Denny's at 7:30 for her $4 special at Denny's, and then
Thanks,
she's
Richard.
up and she's ready to chooch. But here, when she's doing the van life, sometimes she's not up till about 10 or 10:30.
Yeah, because the heat is so oppressive. Remember, I don't have a fan or AC, so when I crawl in, it's like, you got to do. Thank you, old weather guy. Big man says, hello, Elvis. Me and my deals. It's all about deals here. It's all about saving money. When I compute the savings at the end of this trip, it's going to be massive. This van is actually paying for itself at this point in time. Thank you, JK NoCal. You have a wonderful and best of your beautiful wife. And enjoy yourself, everybody. And woo, thanks for being on the stream today. See you later, Tasha.